Welcome to the lounge and the commodities report, and starting with US spot gold here and on the daily chart. And yes, look, what I want to point out here is twofold. We have a pattern here which can be counted as an A wave, or wave 1, wave B, or wave 2, and then wave C or wave 3 up here. Now it does appear to be a wave 3 because of its personality, it's strong, but at the same time we need to be mindful that it is corrective as well, as an A and a B and a C, and can terminate just above the 1300 here and then fade from that point there. It's also pulling back to wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. Now we think that it's still got legs to go to the upside, but I can't confirm that yet. So that's the risk that we're looking at. So we need to tread lightly. The general idea with US spot gold was to trade to 1300, exit, allow the market to go through the process. The process is the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then a larger correction, which could be the wave 4 here, from wave 3 to wave 4, pulling back 38.2%, and then wave 5 moving higher, which would be much the same as this one here. This is also important for stocks as well, because we're holding US gold stocks, we're holding Australian gold stocks, and we'll continue to hold those until proven otherwise. But for this particular market, there's no trend that we should be looking at here. So in terms of wave 3 here, or wave C, it's not quite complete yet. There'll be 5 waves in there, and we're only at the top of wave 3 at this stage. So this is what we're looking at here from blue wave 2. We've got 1, 2, and then a little bit tricky here, but basically 5 waves up for wave 3, and this appears to be wave 4 here, and then wave 5 up into group 1 here. So group 1 is well, the first high above the level here. The market can go all the way up to anywhere into this space up here. The main point that we always look for is it not finding retested support on top of 1330. The 30, the number 3, the top of subgroup 1. This is minor group 1, so this is important on another level, on a larger degree of structure, and this is subgroup 1 here. So if we ever found tested support on 1330, well, we'd be long from that point. Now, it's possible for the market to trade above that, up to the 40, even the 50, but coming back and retesting it is what we're looking for. But as the sparrow flies, we'll be looking for wave 5 into this zone, and then an A and a B and a C here as a larger wave 4, and then a move up here. So it's over this area here that we're looking to re-enter. So it's a long way off just yet. So, you know, if you've made money in the trend, don't get chopped up in this zone here. The range will be group 2 here, 65, 72 and 80, and 10, 20 and 30, and the 1300 will be the balance line that the market will move in towards, and yeah, we'll pick it up over this side. So, you know, and this is the same for silver at 1800 as well here. The copper market, just on the 1 hour chart here. Now, it is possible that we've got a low in here, but I wanted to look at it in terms of an A wave to here, a B wave to here, and a C wave moving up to here. Currently, we have an impulse wave to the upside here, which is a 5-wave structure. So that means that we will be getting another 5 waves after we've received will be an A and a B and a C back into this area, and a 3rd wave and a 4th wave and a 5th wave. Now this will help, you know, stocks like Australian BHP, help it retest $30, you know, much stronger. If we can find support on $30 for BHP, then that will flip the balance to a progressive wave to the upside. But that market can also fail at that $30 as well. So we'll need to give it time there. But this little impulse wave here should be followed by another impulse wave up through here. This wave 1 here may not quite be complete yet. There can be another little high in here first before we get the ABC, and then further up there, 250 medium level. It's looking quite positive here for at least the short term. The oil market is under $50, so we treat it as being weak or bearish because that's the closest largest number and it's under that level. The levels under 50 are, this is a major level. The next levels down are minor levels, so that's 8, 5 and 3, then 2 and 1. The structure that we're looking at here, it is corrective and it can be counted in different ways, but I thought that, well, the retest of $50 here as an A wave, and then looking over here for a B wave, and then another retest as a C wave as a last attempt ditch, and then down again. In the short term, however, from this little wave B here, because we've got this particular move here, maybe it's an A and an A and a B and a C, here's corrective. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, this will be wave 4, so we should see wave 5 take that low out through there, but do expect a bounce from that point there. Okay, so not really great trend trading here in this market. If you've sold short from the retest to 48 and done all the right things, then that's fine. You know the target would have been 45 and you would have been exiting there, and you wait for 45 to become the retested resistance, and then you can move down into 43, but look to exit at that point. Okay, the grains. We're trying to see out of soybeans, wheat and corn. We always find that one's leading and some are following and so forth, and we are looking for lows in these three markets in the grains, and the soybean market here, we've been looking at a 61.8 retracement level and also trying to work out the 5-wave structure to the downside. We're not interested in going long until we have 1,000 as support. It's as simple as that, because under here we would be exposing, if this market was going to fail, it would retest 1,000, fail from that point. So yes, you could go long on the bottom here, and we've talked about it and so forth, but the safer bet would be above the 1,000, and that's what we'll wait for there as such. And we will be using the weekly robo method for soybeans, wheat and corn pretty solidly this year ahead, so that's how we will be approaching it and managing it. In Elliott terms, we're looking for an A wave, a B wave and a C wave up through to here, and then failing and moving down from that point there. Just drilling in here a little bit, we can see that we're looking for 5 waves down through to here. We've seen the market pop up nice and strong from this low there, so that does give us a bit of hope that we're sort of on the right track, but we're still far from purchasing into this market here. And we can just drill in here. We can see that without labeling here, we can see that the market was moving to every trend, be it long or short. There's a beginning, a middle and an end, and we can see this is the middle here, this is the ending process here, and it's getting that nice round slowing process. So now we're seeing it move up, and like I said, you probably could go long here. Just on the 15-minute chart here, a long trade would have been the move up through to here, the retest of 72, and then taking out these highs here, and then looking to add here as well. So it is displaying a nice impulse wave to the upside here. There's no doubt about that. But for us trading the grains, we are looking for a longer term trend. If you wanted to get something here, then the stop needs to be under here. Okay, so under the 70 here, so not the 69, 68, 67, 60, 66 would be the thing here. And the reason for that too, because if we got 5 waves up here, then we can get a 3-wave counter trend, 61.8% back. So we need to be on the right numbers. So 966 would be suffice here. And we can look to add further to the upside. Now, the other markets haven't confirmed this. The wheat market is still looking for lows here, and we just need it to play out. We know that this is up here in A, B, and C here. It's in a 3-wave structure here, and that's confirmed by this market moving, quite a long way down here. We can expect a support at 500 here. So we're kind of looking as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave back up here. But this will be pulled down a little bit closer here and yeah, let's just sort of see how we go. Once again, we wouldn't be going short in this market either until we were under the 500 there. The Christmas period sort of made us miss this a little bit here, but hey, you know, that's the way it goes. But so we just got to wait for this setup here. Same with the corn market as well, without going into the bigger picture, but the high we've got over here at above 410 here, we're looking at we're looking for a structure to the downside of an A and a B and a C wave down here in 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. It's reluctantly not wanting to move down through here. But look, once again, too, we're not interested in going long here until we have 400 as support, and then we can move from that point. So we just have to bide our time in these 3 markets. And also for the coffee market as well. With the coffee market, we're looking at a large correction across the 200 here, and looking at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, and the C wave being in 5 waves, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. Each leg is getting a bit shorter, so it's quite possible that that low is nearly in place or in place, but we'd need to see some evidence to the upside for that. So just drilling into that and having a closer look here, what I want to point out is that the move down through here in this particular structure here, once again, you've got a beginning, which is the building process, the middle, which all the volume comes into, and then the end here. So we are seeing a slowdown here. We can see like a ball bouncing, you know, on the ground, getting lower and lower highs. So we could have a low in here. Once again, if you are thinking of going long here, then you would want 163 as your support here. This little area here does appear to be corrective, but 163 or 3 is the top of group 1, and you need that as support. So that's what you'd be looking for at this point. So yes, we can see it slowing down. It does count 5 waves as being completed here, but once again, we haven't seen a proper impulse wave to the upside here. It's kind of there, but it's a bit messy. But being long on 163 on top of 3 here, tested support, is what you'd be looking for, then looking to add on top of 5 as well here. But can't confirm that low's in place, but we can confirm that we had been counting down here to get some sort of completion here. But at the end of the day, this is a bounce off this big number here, 160. So we need to allow that to mature, so we can see what pattern develops from that point. And at this stage, we don't have an impulse wave to the upside. This does appear to be corrective here, so we should see a little move further up through to there. But to do that, 163 as confirmed there. The sugar sometimes follows the coffee or vice versa, and we will take a look at the sugar market here. And we're looking at, well, the main point here that I want to point out is that the 15, which is a medium level, the closest largest number, and the market is above that. Once again, we don't have an impulse wave to the upside, because this can be counted as an A and a B and a C wave through to here. So that can be as a corrective pattern here. We need to see how the retest at 15 goes once again as well, and see how that establishes itself. But if it retests here and moves up further up here, then we start to look at an impulse wave to the upside, and that would also help our move in coffee as well. The cotton market is also searching for lows as well, and just to go over that a little bit, well, we've had this strong 3rd wave down here. We're looking for a 3rd, a 4th, and this is the ending process of that move, because obviously this is a lot, this pattern here is a lot different from this, isn't it? I mean, here it's just, you know, Formula 1, and here it's like a little go-kart or something. So it's, you know, it's slowing down here. And what we were looking from wave 4 here down to wave 5 of wave 5 is we're looking for 5 waves down here. Once again, we may have a low in place here, but it's not enough to trade off of. We would want 60 as support to do that. And I do think that there's possibly another little leg down here. So if we just drill into that for a moment. So we're looking for 5 waves down. So wave 1, wave 2, and from wave 2 down to wave 3 here. I was counting it like this here in terms of down for 1, back for 2, and then down for the third wave here. And the third wave would have 5 waves in it, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C for the fourth, the fourth here, and the fifth here for wave 3, then wave 4, then wave 5 to make wave 3 here. So this one here would be wave 4, pulling back to wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, and then down through to here. Now, if I see this move up from here, then I would know that I've made an error, and we would look at this then of being wave 1, 2, 3, because it is moving quite nice here, 4 and 5. If we see something like that, then we'll still wait and we'll see, confirm the corrective move here, and then we can look to build from this point somewhere over here. So yeah, that's if I'm wrong, but otherwise we'll see this move down here to make one more low from this point here. Right, the cocoa juice, cocoa bean rather. So in a bit of a nutshell, we've got this top up here. Okay, so we've seen this market correct across the major trading level here, 3, and yeah, so we're just looking at all of this in a corrective pattern. So we knew that this here was corrective because of the overlapping wave structures. So we knew that a new low will be made here. This low here would be looking for 5 waves down through to here. And we can have a look at that in a moment. But what I've never really been sure about is the pattern. So I don't know if we've got an A and a B and a C wave to here for an A wave, then a B wave to here, and then a C wave to here. Okay, and that's the end of the correction. Then we'll move back up over the 3,000. The other reasonable count for this is a 5-wave structure to the downside, which is 1 and 2 and 3, all the way for complicated 4th and down for a 5th. Now this is important because as an A and a B and a C, we'd be pushing up from this point. If it's a 5-wave structure coming down, well then this is, if I can just draw this out here just to give us an idea, if all of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here was a 5-wave structure like this, 1, 2, 3, complicated 4th down for, then we would get an A and a B and a C wave here, and then we would get another 5 waves coming down through here as well. Do you know what I mean? This would be this type of structure here. So at the moment we're just in this little area here, this little area down here. If it is 5 waves down, so still a long way to go, a bit unfortunate, but we'll see how we go. My main trade for all of this was that once this correction had finished and we can get some support on 3,000, then we'll definitely be going long from that point there. It's just a matter of getting to that point there. This particular move down through this structure here, both counts that I have will deliver 5 waves from here. So with that in mind, I was looking at it in terms of from the last high up here, looking at this as down for 1 here, an A and a B and a C for 2 here, and then we're looking down for 3, 4 and 5 here. So this one here would be down for wave 1 in here, all of this being the 3rd wave in here, and the 4th and the 5th here, so all of this being from wave 2 all the way down for 3 here. So wave 4 here can pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, so it can pull back to 2,800. And also this number here is important too. It's a 72 number, 272, that should read 2,720. So it's a 72 number, and it will be important here. The other point that I want to make out too is that if you are short here, it's not such a bad idea to get out around this level here, because if the extension here is in wave 3 here, that means that wave 1 here, yeah, this short little one here, wave 1, and wave 5 will be about the same length. So it's not like there's going to be a lot in there anyway, you know, so you save yourself a little bit of stress there, but the trend is still to the downside, and that's that. Right, alrighty, well that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.